Hi, I'm Ken Grimes. I'm the city administrator here in Orange Beach. We're focused on reopening the economy and getting our community back to where we need to be at the same time while we continue to keep folks safe and to keep the environment that they are in as safe as possible for all to interact. We've had an interesting time as we've had not only our beaches shut down, our restaurants shut down, but we are a community that is driven by tourism. And when people stay at home with stay-home orders, not just in Alabama, but across the country, this pandemic has created a stall to all communities. And obviously it's created those that are in the tourism field much more susceptible and at risk. So we are facing that here in the Alabama Gulf Coast and Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, and Foley. As we're dependent on tourism, one of the things that we have always maintained is strong contact with all the elected leaders and the decision makers at higher levels. This is not only a global issue that we face, but dealing with the federal level, our state government, and then ultimately down to the county and cities, we're all focused on trying to communicate what is best for each community. You know, in Alabama, there are 462 cities alone with 67 counties. So you can imagine the amount of input and suggestions coming into not only the governor's office, but the State Department of Public Health. So when you deal with situations that we face, we try to present what's different than what other people face. An example is when you close down the beaches, means the accommodations aren't being booked, which means no one's going to Foley to shop, which means the retailers are not open, which means the restaurants can't supply that, which means the grocery stores run out of product. So it's a cycle that everybody has a different situation, but that kind of gives you some ideas of what happens in South Baldwin when things begin to ripple through a tourism economy that cannot recover. In 2010 and 11, we learned a lot with the oil spill. There are many similarities as to how these type crises happen, but one of the things with the oil spill was there was a claims process. So small businesses could apply for lost revenues, and eventually through the claims process, whether smooth or difficult, they could get some funding. There's not necessarily a claims process in this as we're dealing with a global pandemic. So as people go nationally through the United States, all businesses are struggling as they were shut down for some period of time. For us, the last 6 to 8 weeks has been very difficult, but yet we're a resilient community. So a lot of what happens here, we've been through crisis and we understand how to come out of it. So I think our business people, our community, and our citizens are very well adapted at recovering, and we're in that stage now. So moving forward for the Alabama Gulf Coast, you know, here in Baldwin County, we are focused on recovery and how do we get back to what is that normal. I think recovery for us means people coming back, having positive experiences, leaving here with great memories, but also understanding what that meant to not only their families, but for the tourists as they go back. For our local businesses, there's an appreciation of being able to sit down in a restaurant, being able to enjoy a haircut again, and the things that most people realize that are important, but when they're taken away, you can't enjoy. When we opened the beaches back, people ran to the Gulf. They ran to the sand just to put their toes in that sand and to sit there for a few minutes before sunset. That was an exciting day, and it kind of got people realizing that's a great resource, and it'll always be something that we're very protective of, and we will always maintain to the best of our abilities as the stewards of Alabama's beaches. Our economy in Orange Beach is intertwined with the Gulf Shores economy and intertwined with the Foley economy and all the communities in between. And in Baldwin County, we know that we will get through this, and we obviously have leadership who've been through storms, literal storms and man-made storms. We've been through economic storms, and we will get through this. The absolute #1 goal is to keep our people safe, to keep your family safe, and to keep your businesses functioning, and to keep the pulse as strong as it can be. So we want you to know, getting through this, your leadership in any area of Baldwin County is focused on that with the common goal, and we know that we will get through it.